Anker has a new portable Bluetooth speaker out with Soundcore Flare 2. This is a reasonably large speaker that features 360 degrees of sound, 20 watts of power, is sound reactive LEDs, USB-C. It's waterproof and linkable up to 100 other Flare 2 speakers. Thanks to Anker for sending this to me to take a look at. I've been enjoying it during these long stay-at-home times. As a reminder, guys, if you're not following me on social media, please make sure you do. I'll have links to it in the description. It really helps me out when you do follow. So here is the packaging. It's in a blue hanging retail box, and every side here is really nicely printed with a lot of just nice images of it. This is showing you here, you can link it up to 100 other speakers. And on the back here, you've got all the different details, 360 degrees sound. It's got the bass up technology, dual beat driven light rings, 12-hour playback, fully waterproof, and customizable via the Soundcore app. Inside the box, you get the manual here, and you get a USB-A to USB-C cable. The speaker itself is an attractive design. It's a cylinder shape, and it's a little bit flared here at the bottom, as you can see. And it's got this nice black kind of texture to it. It's got little gray dots in it. It's not just a black fabric. On the front here, it says Soundcore. On the back, you've got just a couple buttons. You've got your button to link it up via Bluetooth. You've got your bass up button. And underneath this port, which is a little bit difficult to remove, you've got the USB-C port. On the bottom, it's a nice rubbery base so it doesn't go anywhere, and one of those light rings. On top here, you've got a power button. You've got volume down, volume up. Then you've got a button to control lights, and then a multifunction button here that I've got set to play and pause. Physically, the speaker is larger than a standard US pop can at 3.4 inches at its widest at the bottom and 2.9 at its narrowest. It's 6.3 inches tall. I measured the weight at 1.33 pounds. The speaker is even IPX7 water rated, meaning it won't be harmed by splashes of rain, and it can even withstand complete submersion to shallow depths. I did this test and can agree that it survived, but the sound quality does suffer when the speaker is wet because all the pores all around it are filled with water. Once it dries out, it's perfectly fine. Water test. So you don't hear anything anymore, but it does float, which is kind of neat. I'll pull it out. Connected back up. Let's see if it'll go. Plays. Let's dunk it one more time and see if it floats. So that's kind of interesting. It seems to lose Bluetooth connection when you dunk it in the water, but pull it out, connect it again, hit play. And away it goes. Pretty neat. It features a 5200 milliamp hour battery inside, which is good for 12 hours of playback time. And in my testing, I got at least this, if not more. From empty to full, the speaker took 3.5 hours to charge, and it's capable of charging via USB-C to C, or with USB-C PD, which is nice to see. This is the Soundcore app, and you wouldn't think that a Bluetooth speaker needs an app, but the Soundcore Flare 2 really should have one, and it does. So I wanted to show you all the different things that you can do with it. You've got volume controls, you've got an equalizer, and this is a big part of it. You've got the ability to turn your bass up on and off, and you've got different sound profiles here. I honestly like the default. I think it's got a nice tone for most of the music I listen to, and things like movies, podcasts, things like that. But you've also got voice, which brings the treble up, chill, flat, and then custom, which is a big one. So you can come through here and draw the spike exactly what you want to see at exactly whatever frequency you want to see. That's a really nice touch that I'm glad they do, and not a lot of other Bluetooth speakers have. On the other side, then you've got different light options. So right now I've got mine in party time, but I can also choose phasing. And if I go into it, then you can choose the different colors that you want to do. So let's say I don't want pink or orange, or sorry, green or orange. It'll just do this purple and kind of pink color. I can go back. I've got bouncing beats. You can kind of see that in the example here. Circle beam, where it just spins around. I can go into it and say, oh, I want it to be blue instead. You've got color breath, which is the same color, but it just kind of glows on and off. I think this is one of my favorites because it's a little bit less distracting when I'm not listening to music, something like Netflix or YouTube. Then you've got even a game here, Who's Next? where you click it. And it picks a color here and sound. So I think the idea is if you have multiple people connect to the speaker or whatever at a party, they can play the next song, or you could use it as a drinking game or something like that. So it's kind of a neat idea to build in there. You can turn the speaker on and off. Then you've also got, you can set the auto power off time. You can use that party cast feature, which is how you connect it to those 100 other speakers. Then you can update the firmware, which I've had to update the firmware. It was a little bit slow process, but it worked really well. Like I said, depending on what I was using the speaker for, I found the LEDs to be a little bit distracting and annoying. For a party or pool, I think they make a lot of sense, but when you're watching Netflix or YouTube, I find them a little bit distracting. So how's the sound quality of the Flare 2? First, it really is true 360-degree sound. They've got the speakers oriented in a way where you can't tell where this button is, and when you walk around it, you really can't tell. I've been using this a lot in my kitchen, cooking during quarantine. And what I didn't used to like is with other Bluetooth speakers, you had to, you might miss some dialogue because you walk around the back side of it. But with the Flare 2, you don't have that problem at all because the 360 gives you that technology to come around and see everything and hear all those vocals. I did notice a small amount of delay when watching YouTube and Netflix with this speaker on my iPad, more so than my Android phone. Not a major deal, but definitely something to mention. Hopefully future firmware updates improve this. Using that Soundcore app to get the sound just right for you is important, I feel like, as well. I enjoyed the default settings with bass up because I thought it was a great mix of bass, but still a balanced sound. I used voice mode a bit with some podcast and turned up higher frequencies and minimized the bass. There's custom too, where you can create your own sound. I listened to it out on my deck, and it gets plenty loud for that, but I did notice a little bit of the bass diminish as the speaker got louder, and it got a little bit muddy instead of being just as clean. That said, for a small speaker here though, I kind of anticipate that, and sound was still good here. So for me, the pros are it's great sound quality at a reasonable volume for its size, true 360-degree sound, impressive water resistance at IPX7 and battery life at 12 hours, and great integration and customization with the Soundcore app. It's a must-have if you get this speaker. The cons for me is it doesn't seem to remember the LED settings, especially off always. There's no 3.5mm jack, which I'm okay with. Bass does fade a little and get a little bit muddy at higher volumes. And I did notice a little bit of delay for Netflix and YouTube, although it's very minimal. My conclusion is that overall the sound quality here exceeds my expectations for a speaker the size of the Flare 2. I wish I could have tried the feature allowing you to link up 100 speakers, as I think it could be a really impressive sound as well as light show capable. For me, the lights are a feature I wasn't needing in a Bluetooth speaker, but given this is designed for parties and pools and things like that, I could see it's a feature people would like. I was impressed with the Soundcore app's integration with the Flex 2. It's a must-have for any Flare 2 owner to dial in the sound profile and light patterns that you want and get those important firmware updates over time. Overall, I'm impressed with the Flare 2 and look forward to using it for many more years. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys, or what you think of this speaker. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Don't forget to like me on social media and like this video, share it with your friends who might be interested. And as always, I'll catch you on the next review soon.